Aloha, my friend. This is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing today, my friend? Are you staying positive? Letting all those negative thoughts, those negative things, those negative visualizations go right on by? Yeah, let them go, because there's way more positives for us. In order for us to achieve our definite major purpose, we need to maintain a constantly positive mental attitude. PMA. That's right. PMA for us. Positive mental attitude. And what I want to share with you today, well, before we, let me open up this application called Concept Jar Mind Map, because I like to lay everything out in mind maps. And today, we're continuing on with our series of learning the 7 steps to Excel success. And in learning the 7 steps to Excel success, we're working our way through step 1 and 2 today. Yesterday, we went over the elements of the Excel screen, so you can check out yesterday's live stream. When you know the elements of the Excel screen in Excel, you can master all of the Microsoft 365 applications because they're all laid out the same. Some of the tools may be different, but the layout is the same. So when you familiarize yourself, I'm going to say Excel and Microsoft Word. Those are the 2 main applications in Microsoft 365. They're the OGs of Microsoft 365. And I've broken down working with Excel into 7 steps of Excel success. So this week, we've been previewing the 7 steps. Yesterday, we started out with the elements of the screen. Today, I'm going to cover a little bit of step 1 and 2. Check it out. 7 steps to Excel success. Step 1, which we're going to talk about today, is design. Here's where we decide if we're in the right program or not, because you've got a lot of different applications in Microsoft 365, and you got to think about which one is the best one to use. Some people use Excel for everything. Some people use Microsoft Word for everything, because you'll be writing a report in Word and you need a spreadsheet, so you just insert a spreadsheet as an object or build an Excel spreadsheet right within Word. Did you know you can do that? Yeah, you can make a spreadsheet inside of Word. It's a Word document displays as just a regular Word document, a little table, however you formatted it. And then when you double click on those numbers, however you laid it out, it opens up Excel right inside of Word. I'll have to teach you that on another day. Today we're working on design, on deciding, are we in the right program? Are we going to do a presentation with a bunch of pictures, slides? What program should we use? PowerPoint, that's right. If we're going to write a report with a lot of words, Word. And if we're using numbers and doing calculations, it's going to be Excel. You got it. Step 1 is design. Decide what we're going to do, what program we're going to be in. And once we've decided, then we can go ahead and begin to build. And you begin to build it plain. No fancy formatting, no fancy borders, no fancy colors and the like. Build it plain, just like that. Step 1 and 2. Those are the 2 out of the 7 steps of Excel success that we're going to be covering today. We're going to be doing it, just a little bit differently today. But before we go into the 7 steps of Excel success, I want us to go right ahead and say, hey, let's review our 6-item list that we go over every day right here at Don't Get Mad, Get Skills. It's the same 6-item list. You should never, organizational professionals are always going to tell you, you should never have a list with, 10, 15, 20 items that you never get done anyways. I mean, how many things can you accomplish in one day? Sometimes you do a lot. Sometimes one thing is a lot. So don't overwhelm yourself. Keep a 6-item list, 6 items. So what if you can't complete all 6 of them? Maybe you only did 2 of them. That's okay. Cross out the 2 that you did. Rewrite your list before you close out for the day. and add 2 new items to it. So you always have a 6-item list. And the 6-item list that we have right here at Don't Get Mad, Get Skills. Check out the new logo. Slowly unveiling it. The 6-item list is number 1, choose to be happy. Yes, people always ask me, Billy, why are you so happy all the time? Because I choose to be happy. Why be any other way? Why do you want to walk around all sad and mopey and stressed out and worried all the time? You got a choice. Choose to be happy and make a plan. The number 1 item on your plan should be choose to be happy. I mean, you can make it whatever you want, but I make it choose to be happy. Because when I'm happy, mentally positive attitude all the time, it's easy to solve problems. It's easy to overcome challenges and difficult situations because my mind is open, relaxed. Man, it feels good to have a constantly positive mental attitude. And most of all, don't get mad. Get skills. And this is easy to do when you have a positive mental attitude. You don't get mad. You're always looking for solutions and you welcome them because you're open. Don't get mad. Get skills. And we're going to get the skills for step 1 and 2 of the 7 steps to Excel success today. And most of all, I know they're all important, right? I would say these bottom 3 could be the most important. Well, choose to be happy is pretty important. These are super important. They're all important. Come on now. You decide which one's going to be the most important. But definitely, whatever you do, do it now. That's right. Do it now. So that's a 6-item list that we go over every single day here at Don't Get Mad, Get Skills. And let's just jump right into it. Step 1 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Step 1 of the 7 habits of highly effective people is be proactive. Yeah, that's right. Be proactive. That's step 1 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Step 2, habit number 2 of highly effective people is begin with the end in mind. Did you know that? But this is not about the 7 habits of highly effective people. However, the 7 steps to Excel success is closely related to the 7 habits of highly effective people. I'm working at keeping it all positive and achieving our objectives. Let's get back over here to the 7 steps to Excel success mind map. And here we have it. We are back in Excel, and this is Microsoft 365. When you're using Microsoft 365, you always have the latest version of Excel. And so when we're deciding that we're going to work with some numbers, maybe we're going to put together an inventory, maybe we're planning a company event, and we have to keep track of all the expenses. Maybe I want to build a P&L sheet. We've decided we're going to do this in Excel because Excel is the right tool. Step 1, decide. And in the process of designing, we can think to ourselves, hey, I don't have to build all this from scratch. Excel can help me design what I'm looking for. So now we decided we're going to go with Excel in our design of our project. So then we say, hey, let's start to build it. So let's say that you are looking for building an inventory. So we're not going to start just typing away in Excel. I would recommend that you just take a piece of paper and sketch out what you need to, what you are visualizing your spreadsheet is going to look like. Draw it out on a piece of paper before we even start working in Excel. And let me tell you a little secret. Something that I always do. And it saves me tons of times. And it makes it to where Excel automatically will make a spreadsheet for me. That's right. Excel has spreadsheets already made for you. Check it out. Oh, before we get going here, why don't we just change it up a little bit here? Why don't we say, hey, maybe we should listen to a little bit of music while we do this. Let's try a playlist that I call my daily life playlist. And today's playlist, we're going to Let's see here. We're going to go old school. Some old school hip hop music. And let's get started with it. We're going to start out with a song called Wasted Education. Woo, right on. I think you can hear that. Now, this is just a little taste of the 7 steps to Excel success. VIP membership. Some of the things that you're going to learn. Remember that this is a $7 a month membership where you get a free 3-day trial. Woo! You're going to be hearing angels all the time because you're getting yourself some skills with the 7 steps to Excel success. VIP membership. And now we're back to Excel. Here's how I get Excel to make spreadsheets for me. All I gotta do is go to the File tab, and we learned that yesterday. We come on back over here to the Backstage view, and we're gonna say, let's go to New, because we're making a new spreadsheet. And then we look right over here, and then we see there's templates. So what is it that we were looking to build? Was it an inventory? Let's go right over here and search for our templates. Or was it an event? Let's look for both. Let's say inventory. You got to spell it right. Press enter. Woo, look at all those different types of inventory. Home inventory. Inventory list with highlights. Highlighting. Probate inventory. Book collection list. Inventory of home contents. Equipment inventory. Inventory list. Accessibility guide. Oh, let's take a look at let's take a look at the home inventory. When we click on any of the templates, check it out. This is one of the first things I want you to notice. Who provided it? When it's provided by Microsoft Corporation, it's guaranteed. So be careful where you get in your templates because Excel is considered by many the world's most dangerous program. Yeah, I've talked about that before, and if you've been watching my live streams, keeping up with the show, you've seen examples that I've given on where just a simple, I copied the formula here and I pasted it over there, is gonna cost you $1 million. Maybe not you, but your company. Because Excel doesn't tell you that that's not the formula that you were looking for if you wrote the syntax properly. So if the structure and the syntax of the formula is correct, Excel's going to give you an answer. But maybe you wrote the wrong formula. There's where the $1 million error is. Happens all the time. Home inventory. Let's check out another one. Inventory list with highlighting. You know, when we look at these templates, when you have been taking the 7 steps to Excel success, you begin to see how they build them. You know, sometimes I just open up a template. May not be exactly what I'm looking for, but it has some components that I'm looking for. And maybe whoever made this template is better at making Excel spreadsheets than I am. Yeah. So why not use what they've come up with? Here's a probate inventory. Ooh, that reminds me, I gotta go make a will. Should always have, well, actually, update the will. Inventory of home contents. There you go. You can put your new computer that you just got so that you can do better live streams. Personal inventory. Let's try something else out. Let's talk about an event. Personal monthly budget, family event calendar, event planner, and timeline, party planner, and checklist. Hey, let's check that out. Now let's click create. Let's see what we got over here. Woo! All right. Templates come with instructions. And typically the instructions for your templates are located in cell A1. And here what we have is well, actually they're called comments now. Let's see. Review, new comment, show comments. Oh, notes. What used to be comments are now called notes. So what we're seeing right here, that's a note. A comment nowadays, I'm just clicking on a cell here, cell M1, new comment. It's how we can start a chat with our colleagues, as long as we're saving all our files in the cloud. So I can say, hey, you know, add somebody on my team. And if they're on my team, it'll find them. And then I just send just a regular chat. Hey, take a look at this template that I created. Can you check out the formulas? You can even decide, maybe I'm going to put my comment right in the event date and time and say, hey, can you take a look at this event date and time? Make sure I put the right calculation for that. Those are comments. And what used to be notes are now called comments. And what we thought of as comments are now called notes. And here the note in cell A1 is telling us, plan your party. From venue, guest, use this planning template for Excel. Track expenses. There's the numbers. There's a lot of numbers. And we got all these little check boxes right here. Look at this. These are built using macros, right? Are you going to be doing this? Do you know how to do this? You'd have to go to your developer tab. You got to go to insert, your form controls. What if you accidentally enter an ActiveX control? No worries. You just go to the Don't Get Mad, Get Skills VIP membership community and you ask your question right in here. Somebody in the community or your Microsoft certified trainer, Mr. Aloha, will answer and help you out. So we're looking at this template that we've created, or we created it by selecting it. And we're saying, yeah, this is good. I like this. Look at this. Make that 200. Everything updates. Make that 1,000 for the decor. We want it to be nice. Boom. Look at that. Yeah. That's how we roll. So you got your template, your party planner. We can add items to it. We can remove items. Let's say, hey, you know, we're not going to do any, we're not going to have AV equipment and staff right here. So we're going to just remove those. Control minus. Shortcuts, tips, and tricks. And we can change the prices. Location rental is going to be $1,200 because we're going to use a nice location. So all of these begin to be updated. So where did that $1,000 go? Let's make it 2,000. Oh, there's the venue. Oh, I see. There's our total. It's like a subtotal. It's telling us what the venue is going to be. And then this top part is our budget. Hey, pretty cool. We can put in our budget right here, and then we can begin to see if we're within budget or not. Pretty cool. And then let's say, look, here's what's cool about about a template. You can customize it, change it around any way that you want to. So we're gonna say Excel party. Yeah. And then we're gonna say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna change the color of that to right click. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna change the color to Excel green. And here's all the recent colors that we have. I wonder if that is Excel green that I put in the other day. If it's not, I can just go into custom colors and I can put in the color code that I'm looking for. 1D6F42. I believe that is the color of Excel. And there we have it. When you Microsoft certified trainer, you will spend so much time in Excel, you even know the color codes for Excel. All right, so we've got our template. You modify it all you want. And then we want to go ahead and save it. What's a shortcut to save? You know, Excel tells you. We can look right over here at the QAT Quick Access Toolbar. You're looking at it and going, hey, I don't have that on my Quick Access Toolbar. What's a Quick Access Toolbar? Excel VIP members, they know. So we've customized our Quick Access Toolbar. I taught that yesterday. And we added right there to save. And we also know that our tooltip is telling us. Our tooltip is letting us know that the shortcut is Control S. So watch this. I'm going to press Control S. And because this is a template, Excel is going to ask me, hey, where do you want to save it? What's cool about that? We're not going to overwrite the template. That's right. The template's not going to be overwritten. You're going to have to save the file with a different name. What if we modified this template? What if we changed it around, changed the colors around, changed a couple of formulas around, made it our own, and now we want to save it as a template? That's the key. Save as a template. I'm going to press this shortcut right here, F12. F12. I like using that shortcut. That takes me to the old school save as dialog box. So I'm going to press F12 right now. And here's the old school save as dialog box. And I want to save this template that I modified. I want to save it as a template so that I can use it later. Or let's say I couldn't find a template. So I had to create a template from scratch. And let's say this is what you ended up with. So let's just imagine that you made this. And now you want to save this as a template so you can be reusing it. Or even an invoice that you use at your company. You create the invoice, put in all the right formulas, and then save it as a template. Let's do this. Let's close this out right here. I'm not going to save it. And we're going to go back to the File tab. We're going to go back into New. And let's just look for an invoice. And there's going to be tons and tons of invoices that come up. So let's just pick a simple one for purposes. Oh, and look at that. We actually have a simple invoice. So let's select it, create it, and there it is. And then right there in A1 is our comment or our note. Create a simple invoice in this worksheet. And look, this is a table. How do we know it's a table? Because now we have a contextual tool tab. Yeah. We know all this because we're VIP members of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership. Ooh, how do we find that one? Oh, it's myexcel.club. That's right. myexcel.club. Boom, there we are. All right. So now we're getting back to Excel. We've got our template for our simple invoice. We say, hey, you know what? We want to change some colors on here. You can go to page layout. You can change the whole theme in one step. Did you know that? Have you been? Don't tell me. You've been manually going and individually changing all the formats. I mean, you knew that when you click inside of a table, you got a table design, right? And you can hover over all these different table styles. You can even make your own table style. See that right there? That's how you can create a new table style if you don't like any of the table styles that are already in there. Are we having fun yet? I mean, there's so much. That's why this is just a preview, just a taste of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership. Put in DGM. That's what I abbreviation for Don't Get Mad, Get Skills. DGM. Right here's where we can put in a company address. And you see how every cell has a tooltip? Or these aren't really tooltips. Tooltips would be those right there. Those are tooltips. These are comments. All right. Enter company website in this cell. Enter company email. So there's all kinds. So now let's go ahead and we're going to go right here to the page layout. And we're going to go to the themes. Because, we want to pick a different theme. And every theme has specific fonts, specific colors, specific features tied to it. And then you can create your own. You can format a spreadsheet, put in whatever colors, whatever font sizes, everything that you want. And say, hey, you know what? I want to apply this style, this theme to every spreadsheet that I open. So you can save this current theme that you created and then apply it. You give it a name. This all happens in the page layout. Many of you never even been to the page layout. That's why you're struggling with printing. Because this right here is the beginning of your printing world. But let's get back over here to these themes. Page layout. We're going to go to our themes right over here. And let's just pick a different one. Facet. Boom. Let's do that. And there we go. Fonts have changed. Colors have changed. Still the basic elements are in there though. Item. Easy. Workshop. $147. Discount 50% if you're Excel VIP member. $50. Ooh, it's a $50 discount. We could have made a percentage formula in it, but we didn't. And now look, we got an if error. What does that formula do? Did you know that? If ever. If there's an error, do this. If not, do that. What if you didn't? What if you really wanted to know? Hey, I can look at that in most members. If you've been a member of the VIP 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership for more than 30 days, you got a pretty good idea what's going on over here. Or you're saying to yourself, hey, you know what? Mr. Aloha taught me that there's a way that I can find out what formulas mean if I'm having a hard time understanding it. Oh, it's called the Excel Formula Bot. There's a couple things you could do. We can open up the Excel Formula Bot and let's say explain formula right over here. See, look right up above me. I'm going to hide myself real quick so we can focus on the Excel Formula Bot. So I took this ad in the Excel Formula Bot, added it to Excel, opened it up, because there's this formula that I'm wondering, what is that if error formula? So then I just go to the Excel Formula Bot, and instead of asking it to generate a formula for me, I say, hey, explain a formula for me. So I'm going to type in that formula right there. And then let's say submit. There it is. There it is right there. Woo-hoo. There it is. It explained it to us. So check this out. Isn't this cool? Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Our formula has been explained to us, and now let's see what the explanation for the formula is. The formula bot is telling us that the if error function checks if the formula returns an error. If it does, it returns an empty string. That's the quote. If there is no error, it returns the result of the formula. That's the result of the formula. This formula multiplies the values in cell D9 and E9 and then subtracts the value in cell F9. D9 and E9. D9 and E9. Multiplies them and then subtracts that. And if there's an error, it leaves a blank. Isn't that cool? That's the Excel formula bot. Hey, check it out. Look in the description. There's links to everything that I'm talking about. Go to Excel formula bot. Get yourself the 1 year subscription. That's what I did. I got the 1 month and then I got the 1 year. And when you're at Excel formula bot, type in this discount code, Mr. Aloha, and you're going to get 10% off, an additional 10% off whatever special offer they got going on at the time. And then you can add in the Excel formula bot into your spreadsheet. So here we have it. We've modified our invoice. We opened up a template. It's already all set up for it. We made a few changes to it. Look at that. Make all changes payable to DGM. Did I type that? Did y'all see me type that? No, but that's linked. This is linked. Look at that. Make all checks payable. You write that. And then you got this little hook together. Kind of like a concatenation. But it's not really. It's a hook together. And we're hooking it together, whatever the company name is, right? So we got company name. Let's look right here. Look at this in the name box. You heard me talking about the name box yesterday. That we could teach a whole class just on the name box. Look what we got here, company name. Let's click on company name, see where that takes us. Imagine that. So whatever I put in that cell, this cell right here, which looks like it's a merge cell. You should never have merge cells unless it's a title row, which is what this is. They merge the cell up here above everything else that we need to work with. Kind of like what we call a title row. So if you want to have a merge cell, make sure it's above the headers where it's not going to bother anything. Merge cells are bad. I know you probably like them, but there's also a center cross selection. So we see that whatever we put into this cell, which is now called company name, that's the name of this cell. I mean, I can go to anywhere else in this workbook. Let's go down to row 1,048,576. Then I'll go right up here to my name box and I would say, I want to go to company name. Anywhere in this Excel workbook, there could be 10 other worksheets. I could be in worksheet number 10, go up to the name box and say, hey, take me to company name, and it's going to take you right to the cell, company name. Just think about what else you could be doing with the name box. So many fun things, effective things, valuable things that are going to get you promoted. Get you that job. I mean, just the fact that you now know that the name box shows you more than just the cell that your marquee is on. Just the fact that you know the word marquee. You know what it is? This is the marquee. And where should it be? Should always be in the data. 7 steps to Excel success VIP membership. It just takes a little bit of Excel language ability to get you that job you're looking for, and then you can figure it out. There's a whole lot of people that control home, that work with you, that say they know how to use Excel. They don't. They think they do, unless they're members of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership. So now we want to save this as a template. Because we know that it's a template, we've modified it. When I press Control S to save, it's going to tell us to save it as something else so we don't overwrite the template. But in this case, we want to save it as a template. We've created this new invoice. We changed the colors to it. We've modified the names. We've made it our own. We've customized it. So now what we want to do is save it as a template. So let's use that old school shortcut to get to the Save As dialog box. What is it? F12. That's right. And when we're here at the F12 and we're saying we want to save this as a template so that we can use it later, think about what you're saying. We're going to save it as. Here we have it. Save it as. So we're going to click on this drop down and look at all the different file types we can save as. That's pretty cool. We're going to save it as an Excel template. Now, if we already had been through step 7 of the 7 steps of Excel success, which is automation, you would know about macros. And maybe you have a macro and you would know that the XLTM is a macro-enabled template. We have no macros in this template, so we're just going to save it as an Excel template. We're not saving it as an XLSX Excel workbook. We're not saving it as a macro-enabled workbook. We're not saving it as anything else except an Excel template. That's how you make templates. You create your file, and then you save it as a template. But I want you to pay attention. Look at the file path right here. Notice that when I select Save As a Template, Excel is going to put it wherever it wants to. Normally you would save as, and then save in the folder that you want to save your file in, but not when you're saving a template. You want to let Excel save as a template to where it wants to save in the Custom Office Templates folder. It'll automatically put it there. That way, you can always find your templates. That's right. Those of you that are viewing right now that you're with me, if you got any questions, type them in the chat. And I want you to know, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm giving it all I got so that you can learn. Because I believe in you. Come on now, you got all the abilities. So we're going to give our file a name. We're going to call it Simple Invoice 100 because we're 100. And now we're going to save it. Now we're going to close this. Now I'm going to open up a brand new spreadsheet. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I got to open up an invoice. So we go to New, File, New. And now check this out. If you've never made a template before, you will only see Office. You won't see Personal. Once you create your first template, then Excel is going to give you the option to view your personal templates. This is where you search for templates. I mean, look at all these templates. You can even ask Excel for tutorials, and Excel will give you tutorials in Excel spreadsheets. So let's go right ahead and click on Personal. And when we go to Personal, there's our Simple Invoice. What did we call it? Simple Invoice 100. Here it is. Simple Invoice 100. Let's click on it, and there we have it. Isn't that amazing? And then now, you don't got to worry about your invoice getting overwritten, because the moment somebody goes to save it, they got to save it as with a new name. Boom. All right. So now we know about templates, creating templates. Let's roll on. Let's talk about entering data. Say I want to enter some data in Excel. How do you do it? You just put your marquee in a cell and start typing. Just like that. And then when you're done typing, boom, press enter. I'm going to hold down the control key. And then I'm going to turn my mouse wheel. Control, mouse wheel. Look, I'm zooming into my work area. So once you type, enter your data, press enter. There you have it. What else? What if I want to edit that? What if I want to say Team 11? A couple ways. We can go right up into the formula bar, tap in Team 11 like that. We can double click on the cell, type Team 11. We can say, hey, double click right here. Edit right there. Another way that we can edit is just select the cell you want to edit and press F2. F2 to edit. So when I press F2, boom, Team 11, just like that. That F2 to edit works with file names too. You want to edit a file name, just go to a folder. Let's see. Here, I got this folder right here. I want to rename that folder. I can just press F2. Whoops. It won't let me do it when it's right there. How about if I go here? Oops. Documents. It's right here. F2 to edit. There you have it. And then I can edit. F2 to edit. Try it. Now there's 5 things that can go into an Excel spreadsheet. Check this out. Control F1 to hide my ribbon. 5 things that can go into an Excel spreadsheet. One of them is text. What else can go into an Excel spreadsheet? That's right. Formulas and functions. I wonder if I got a little... No. What's something else that can go? Come on, put it in the chat. Numbers. That's right. What else can go into an Excel spreadsheet? What do you call when you make it pretty? Formatting. That's right. What else can go into an Excel spreadsheet? 5 things. Come on now. Let me know. Oh. Right on, Steve. We can put graphics. There you have it. 5 things that can go into an Excel spreadsheet. Now, there's some really cool things when you're entering data in Excel. Let's say that you type in the day of the week. And you need to write out the days of the week over and over. And you're going to yourself, man, I always got to write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tired of doing that. You never really had to do it. All you got to do is type in Monday, and then Excel will take care of the rest for you. All by using this little handle right here. That's called the Autofill Handle. And when you put your mouse over it and left click, you see how the pointer changes? Left click to grab it, and then I drag down. Look at that. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. Boom. Yeah. Look at that. And then you say, no, Billy, but it had to be just Mon-to-Wed. Hey, no big deal. Just edit Monday. Double click on the autofill handle. Double click. Click, click. Whoops. Click, 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 click on the autofill handle. There you have it. Cool. Hey, what if I put in a date stamp like that? Yeah, I just used a keyboard shortcut to do a date stamp. What is it? What is that keyboard shortcut? Control plus semicolon. Control semicolon. That does a date stamp. Control semicolon. It's static. I can use a function, the today function, tab right into it, press enter, and that's going to return today's date, whatever today is. So tomorrow, it's going to say 127 because tomorrow will be today, and this function equals whatever today is. Could you use that in an invoice? All right. So I've got some dates right here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to go way down here, like 20 days. So you got all these dates here, 20 days. And your boss says, hey, you know, there's some weekends in there. Can you take out the weekends? You're going to say, yeah, of course I can. So whenever you do this, We go right down here and we release. You'll notice that you have this little box right here, this little thing that appeared. I know when you first started seeing these, you click out and you're like trying to figure out all kinds of ways. How do I get rid of that stupid thing? Did you ever click on it? Don't be scared. This is called your Autofill Options. Click on it. Now look at all the options that you have. And look at this. I only want the weekdays. Well, check this out. I'm going to go right back up to the top here. Let's put in Monday so we can see the weekends. And let's drag it on down. I could even do some conditional formatting right here to highlight the Saturdays and Sundays for us. Conditional formatting is located right in your home tab where all your formatting takes place. Yeah, more on that in another class. So we see that we've got Saturday and Sunday right here, and we got another Saturday and Sunday right there, and then we got a Saturday right there. So we want to get rid of the weekends. So let's say that you went ahead and you select, you did this autofill. Now let's go right ahead and click on the autofill options and say, look, just fill the weekdays. So we say, okay, boom. And now we just have the weekdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you go right here, grab Monday, and let's say, just fill the weekdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at that. If we look in the calendar, there's not going to be any weekends right here. I hope I didn't confuse you the way that I just did this. It didn't quite work out the way that I was trying to make it work out. But here we see, we can confirm the dates. For example, 2/1 is a Friday. Oh, I think I messed up Excel. We did. I did mess up Excel. I messed this up. I confused it because 2/1 is a weekday. 2/2 is a weekday. 2/3. Oh, 2/4. That's right. We asked for the weekends to be removed. So our dates are correct. Excel is right. I was wrong. It's usually user error. So it's correct. Look. Let me go right in here. What was that shortcut to put in a date stamp? Control semicolon. And then now let's go ahead and drag all the way on down here. We know we've got weekends in there. So let's go ahead. Come on. Click on our autofill options and say fill weekdays. Wow. And there we have it. It's correct now. 126, because let's see right here. 127 is a Friday. 128 and 129 are weekends. They're gone from here. Yeah. The example that I used wasn't working out too good. But look, you can do dates. You can use any format. You can put in the numbers any way that you want, the days of the week, the months. You got to at least start a pattern and then drag. And there you have them. Just like that. You start the pattern. You put in a 2 and you put in a 4 and you grab these 2 and then you drag. And then you've got a pattern. So you start the pattern. There's so many more things. This is just some basics right here. Just some basics. I'm going to select this column and press Control- to take it out. Control-. So now we know 5 things that can go in Excel. We know a little bit about the Autofill Handle. Later on, I'm going to teach you about custom fill series. Because what if you're typing the same things over and over again, something repetitive, like you got team 1, team 2, team 3, and they got the same people on each team, and you're tired of typing in all names. What if you just made it so you type in team 1 and then you drag, and then there's your team? It's not pre-programmed in Excel because Excel doesn't know who your team is. However, you can create this. It's called the custom fill series. Want to know about the custom fill series? 7 steps to Excel success VIP membership. The members know. What do you get? You get a lot. You get all these courses, some of my top courses, and I'm gonna add a lot of the workshops that I do. I think maybe I'm gonna add a really deep discount for the VIP members. So instead of paying $147 for a workshop, maybe you just pay $10, something like that. If you're already a VIP member, whenever I add that benefit, you'll get it. What if I raise the price? Because some of y'all say, Billy, you really should raise the price. I don't know why you said that, but I appreciate it. If you're paying $7 a month right now and then I raise the price, you're still going to keep paying $7 a month. When I add benefits to it, let's say you signed up and the workshops were not included, then I add that benefit, you're going to get the benefit. Anything that I add to it, any benefits that I add to the membership, you're going to get, regardless of how much you're paying every month. If I increase the monthly membership, you're still going to keep paying what you were paying from the beginning. So sign up now before it goes up. Woo, let's go. It's got to be the mellowest Excel class I've ever taught. Let's not think of this as a class. Let's just think of this as learning. When I'm live streaming, you can drop in anytime. Get yourself some skills. I'm going to show you some keyboard shortcuts. Custom fill series we don't learn today. We'll have to do that on another day. But some keyboard shortcuts. So let's say cut. Let me see if I got an auto custom fill series first. Oh, look at that. I do. Boom. Like that. Keyboard shortcuts. And let me bold this here. Control B to bold. Boom. You know what? Let me merge those two because I can. And then let's add a little. Look at that. Now the shortcut to cut is Control plus X. That's right. Cut. Copy is Control C. Paste is Control V. Undo is Control Z. Redo is Control Y. Save is Control S. Custom fill series in action. Let's go ahead and merge and center that top one more little bit. Boom, move it on over. And here we go. The cut. Watch, I'm going to put my marquee on cell A2, press Control X. Now, do you see this marquee right here? You know what that's called? That's called the marching ants marquee. Now I put my marquee where I want to paste, and I can just press Control V to paste. Just like we have right here, Control V to paste. I'm going to press copy, Control C to copy, and then I'm going to press Control V to paste. And you see the marching ants marquee is still active. Why? Because this is a copy and I can keep pasting. So I Control V again, Control V again. Well, what if I don't want to keep copying? Well, there's two things you can do. You can press escape or you can just press enter and you're done. What if you just wanted to make one copy? Select the cell you want to copy, press Control C to copy, put your marquee where you want to paste, and then just press enter. Just like that. Now we know the paste. Control X to cut, Control V to paste. Undo, Control X to cut, Control V to paste. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Control Z. Wait, I want to redo that. Control Y. No, Z, Y, Control Z, Control Y. Da, 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 da. And it's still not broken. And then finally, Control S. Control S to save. And here we see an error or a warning. We can't save Don't Get Mad Get Skills, Excel Skills Spreadsheet, XLSX. Because the file is read-only. In other words, it's protected. To keep your changes, you'll need to save the workbook with a new name or in a different location. What do you think is going to happen when I press OK? So when I press OK, it's going to ask me to save it as something else in a different location. Because it's protected. It's read-only. And I did that so that because the spreadsheet is the one that we all work with all the time, it's protected. That way you can write in it, we can work in it, we can do things, but we're not going to overwrite the content so we can teach with it again. Here's the last thing we're going to do. Remember, there's so much more to step 1 and 2. This is just a overview. When you take the 7 Steps to Excel Success Basics class, when you're a member of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership, you get the live class for free. This one right here. It's normally $147. It's a 5-day class. Each session is an hour and a half. And you can keep coming back as many times as you want to take this live class. When you're a member of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership for $7 a month, this class is included. All of these courses are included in your VIP membership for $7 a month. Every one of them. Plus, I might add more. So the final thing that we're going to do for today is you're going to learn how to move around, insert, and rename worksheets. So I'm going to press Control N as in new, to launch a new workbook. Here we have it. And we've got sheet 1. If I want to add a new sheet, I can just press this new sheet button. Click, and look now, we got sheet 2. If I do this again, what do you think this sheet is going to be? Sheet 3. That's right. Now I can also right click, and I've got these options. When in doubt, right click. Nothing happens. Left click. Nothing happens. Check your options. So we right click on sheet 3, and I can see, oh, insert. Hey. Now notice where it's going to insert. When I say insert, now it's going to say, well, what do you want to insert? Do you want to insert a template? These are templates. Or do you want to just insert a plain worksheet? Or do you want to go check out more templates? So I'm going to say, okay, because it's a plain sheet. But now look. When I insert a sheet here, it always inserts it right after my selection. When I right click on a worksheet and say insert, it inserts it before my selection. But then I can reorder it. I can left click on this sheet. You see how looks like I got a little sheet right there on the tip of the cursor. And then you'll notice that there's a little upside down black triangle. Well, that's where that's the insertion point. I can move it all the way back over here. I can drag it all the way over there. There's a lot of different things I can do. I can right click and say, move or copy. We're just about done right here. Let me open up. Don't Get Mad Get Skills. Now we've got 2 workbooks open. Watch this. Another way to move is right click and say move or copy. And now I can move or copy. You read step by step. Move or copy. Move selected sheets to book. So right now I'm going to keep it within this book that we're in right now. And I'm going to take that sheet 4 right there, and I'm going to put it before sheet 1. So I'm going to say before sheet 1, click OK. And there we have sheet 4 before sheet 1. Getting good now. Watch this. let's say I got this. I want to make a chart out of this. What's a shortcut to put my default chart on a separate worksheet? One button. Come on now. You know what it is. F11. That's right. F11. Those of you that are members of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership, you know that's that's Microsoft's favorite shortcut, F11. So here's the chart. This is the source data for this chart. I'm going to move a copy of this chart into book 1. So check this out. I go to the book containing the chart that I want to move a copy of it. So I can right click and I go to move a copy. Move a copy. Move selected sheets to book. Now when you click on the drop down, it's going to show all the books that are currently open. Looks like I've got all these books open. So it's book 1 that I want to go to. So watch this. I can move like we did earlier where we put sheet 4 right in front of sheet 1. I can say, hey, move chart 1, and I can put it before any sheet in here that I select. But what I want to do with this chart is I want to move it to book 1. And it's only going to display the workbooks that are currently open. This is book 1. There's the name of it. We haven't named it. And so now we see all the sheets in book 1. So we can put that chart before any one of these sheets. So I'm going to put that chart all the way at the end right here. So I'll click, move to the end. And I don't want to move the chart out of the workbook that it's in. I want to move a copy of it. So we're going to click right there. Check it out right there. Create a copy. See that? Whoops. Right there. Create a copy. And now I press OK. Watch what's going to happen. This chart right here is going to stay here, but it's going to go to the end over here. So let me move this. Let me escape real quick. I want to do this so we can see it really good right here. Here we go. You ready for this? I'm going to right click, move a copy, move to book 1, and put it at the end and create a copy. Okay, you ready? You ready? Here we go. Oh, there it is. Now we got our original chart, a copy of it in book 1, and we moved it to the end, just like that. And now these charts are linked. So as long as we're doing everything within the network, we're linked. I want you to notice right here, Aloha. So this is January. I'm going to make that 0 in the original source. So this is the chart in the original workbook. My original data for January right here. I'm going to make that 0. Watch the chart update. This is the chart in book 1. This is a different chart, a different book. This is the source data in one Excel workbook, and this is the copy of this chart that I put in that workbook, but they're linked. So Aloha is for January is this amount right here. I'm going to change it here to 0, and you're going to see the chart adjust. So there we go. Let's make it 0. Oh, you see that? And now let's go to the original chart right here. Look at that. Gone. They're linked. Now let me just go right back over here and let me undo that. Control Z, and look at that. Instantly. So as long as we're in the same network, we're linked up. Isn't that cool? So now let me close out this workbook right here. I'm not going to save it. And let me just drag this sheet, left click and drag it right over here. And let me show you one more time. We can just double click and give it a name. We can also right click and rename like that. We can even color our sheets. Select the sheet, right click, and then tab color. Make that one red, this one, make it green, this one. You can do whatever you like, and then you got custom colors that you add. You say, hey, I want to use the Excel's custom color. So you go to RGB codes, and you're gonna say 1D6F42. Boom, and there's your Excel green. Nice and pretty for you. There you go, my friends. We've been streaming already for an hour and 5 minutes, and there is so much more to learn. So I'm encouraging you. I'm encouraging you to come on down and go to, this is how we roll. We're going to go to myexcel.club and press enter. And you're going to end up right here where you can sign right up. Just click right here on this button. Any of the red buttons that you see, sign right up. Get yourself 3-day free VIP membership. And then once those 3 days are over, start paying 7 days a month. I mean, you spend more than that. You go get yourself a cup of coffee, it's probably more than that. Unless you're outside of the USA. It's different for you. I've probably been there, wherever you're at. I remember I used to travel 100 cities a year teaching Excel to anywhere between 20 to 120 people every day, live. And I was the only guy in the room with a computer. That's pretty cool. So, all right, my friends. Thank you very much for participating. I encourage you, go join the 7 Steps of Excel Success VIP membership. And go on my YouTube channel. If you're not on YouTube right now, go on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Mr. Aloha. Look right down here and like and subscribe. Come on, that helps me out and helps you out too, because I'm going to keep making content. And when you like my video, YouTube lets more people know that are like you that you like this video. So it shows my videos to them. And when you subscribe and you click on that little notification icon, I don't stream at a set time every day. It's anytime between 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sometime around there is when I live stream. It just depends on how the content evolves and gets planned out. So when you click on that little notification icon, whenever I start streaming, you're going to get notified. There you have it, my friends. I want you to remember something. I want you to remember that I love you, and I want you to keep on learning. And most of all, don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha. See you tomorrow.